So if you haven't seen it, I have spent the last 3 months backpacking in South America, and I thought a really fun way to end this travel series off would be with a little challenge video where my boyfriend and I actually tested how much we could get for 10 British pounds in each of the South American countries that we visited. So those countries were Costa Rica, Peru, Argentina and Brazil, and it varied a lot across all 4 countries, not just in price and currency but just generally. So I actually think this was quite a fun way to test how much you're getting for your money, and also just to give you a bit more insight as to what it's like to travel in these countries, because I will say, as somebody that has backpacked around Southeast Asia and also Australia, this continent is very different. It is not the same at all, and it also varies country by country a lot. So we are going to flash back to the beginning of the year when we were in Colombia, which was our first location that we shot this video, and probably the most successful because I would say it is the cheapest by far to travel out of the ones we visited, at least anyway. So let's take it back to when we were in Cartagena and we were trying the street food. First up, as part of this challenge today, I'm going to be trying quite a lot of different street food, or I really want to anyway. There are fruit stalls dotted all over, so we're going to go to one of those, get ourselves a little snack. So, first snack of the day has just cost me, so they're calling it 7 pesos. It's actually 7,000, they're just knocking the zeros off, which confuses me a lot when they're talking about currency. But that is the equivalent of £1.34 for this entire thing of fruit. This makes a great snack, a great breakfast. There's watermelon, papaya, mango, pineapple, strawberries and grapes. We're gonna be snacking on this for a while, and it cost me £1.34 for all of this, which I don't think is bad. We have got 2 fresh juices. These cost 5 pesos each, or 5,000 pesos. Cheers.
Cheers.
5,000 is currently, as of today, 96 pence, which puts the total spend, if I'm correct, at £2.30. There or thereabouts. That is refreshing. So this is basically street food from a store. We didn't get the name of it and the lady did not understand when we asked, but essentially it's like a corn fritter base with toppings that you pick. So Tom picked chorizo and cheese.
But how do I eat this?
You just pick it all up together, I reckon. So it essentially looks like this. I'm not sure how well you can see it. It's like a fritter pressed, and then it looks like a block of feta, but it's not feta. I'm gonna roll it up and eat it all together, but this costs 5,000, which is 96 pence.
Each first of all?
I don't know. My goodness.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just spilled oil down my trousers. Oh. No, that's okay. Thank you. So that was 3.5. And it's a chocolate ball. Can you see that? Are you ready?
Is it good? It's all over your chin.
So it is chocolate. It's like sponge, kind of a donut-y, deep fried, battered ball, basically covered in, you can either pick chocolate or caramel. Good. So that one just cost 3,500, which is equivalent to 67p, which as a running total now puts our food costs of the day at £3.91, give or take. And we've eaten good. We have tried some good local snacks. We've had fresh fruit, fresh juice. I'm full right now. So for 2,000 pesos, we have just got freshly squeezed, I'm gonna call it lime juice. It's not lime juice, but it's like lime juice. She just did it there in front of us, and it cost 2,000, which is the equivalent of what is on screen currently. Okay, Tom is sitting behind me on the bench. I've come stand in the shade so you can see me, and this is gonna be my first reaction. I've just accidentally licked it. Didn't like it, so we'll see. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's the butter. I don't like the butter. The cheese is great. Is it potato? Like, what even is it? It's the butter. I'm not a fan of that at all. The rest of it is a win.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'm not a big fan of that. Props to you for trying it though.
What did you just have for dinner?
I don't know.
Honestly, me neither.
It was basically a foot long of bread, and then it had like a selection of like onion, meat.
Oh, I filmed them making it.
But yeah, it just had like, it was just like a big mix of different meats. It was really good, really good.
Basically, as you can see, this is a really beautiful part of the city, and it's also the place to come to get street food in an evening. How much did that cost you? About £5? Did we work it out at?
£6 I think it was, but it was quite big.
It was massive, guys. That also pretty much concludes our £10 budget, but you could have ordered something cheaper off the menu.
Yeah, they had like hot dogs for like half of that. They were like £3 and stuff, like really reasonable. It seemed to be, what I got was like the thing everyone was getting from there, so I thought I'd try.
Yeah, when we said £10 stretched a long way here, we mean we have been full all day eating from the food stalls.
I think you could even get by on like £5.
You could get by on a fiver for
without
sure.
drinks, like £5 a day on food for sure.
For sure.
Future me jumping back in here. The next country we're about to head to is Peru. Now the best location that we should have filmed this in was Cusco. If you know anything about Peru, you've probably heard of Cusco. It is like the main touristy backpacker location, and it's a bit of a gateway to Machu Picchu, the Rainbow Mountain, all of the big excursions. However, Tom and I were super ill when we were in Cusco, and we were not up to filming this video. We barely ate anything. I was so sad. There looked so many amazing restaurants and like street food locations in this city. We didn't try any of them out because we were really unwell. So that meant that we had to wait until we felt better to do this part of the video. And then we ended up doing it in Paracas, which is a small town just outside of Lima. It was probably not the best location to shoot this, but it still kind of gives you a rough idea of how much things were costing across Peru as a whole.
Hello from Paracas, Peru. It is time for round 2 of this video. Now you might be thinking, you dressed like you've been on a hike. Yes, because we have literally just this minute got off of the bus from a hiking activity, and we were so hungry, and we walked past a load of street food stalls last night when we arrived here in Paracas, and we thought, do you know what, this looks like a good place to test the value of the Peruvian sol. Is that the currency? The Peruvian sol. So basically this is the current exchange rate. It's about 40 something sols to 10 British pounds. So we're gonna see what we can get. I will be honest, Peruvian street food so far, we have not really seen any that we have wanted to try. We are gonna do our best. I'm also gonna be honest, you guys know I'm a vegetarian. Street food is not the easiest, so it might be Tom testing a lot of this, but we're gonna do our best. I'll show you where we are. So this is the setup. You've got a few stalls here. They're like roasting some meat of some kind, and then you've got a little walkway down here that's a little bit more like outdoor restaurant sort of vibes, but we're still gonna do our best, see what they're selling. I'm not sure even really still 2 weeks into this trip what the local delicacy is in Peru. I think it's just a real mix of rice, beans, potato. They love fish. Obviously this is a seaside town as well, so that means there's definitely a lot of fish. Some of these are not open. There's not loads.
Filling something off one of those barbecues.
Yeah, something barbecued. Okay, here we go. What are they making? Is she letting you pick anything, or is it just chicken and potatoes?
The chicken looks good.
The chicken does look alright. Okay, so the meal was cooked on the street, but then we have sat in like this little, it's kind of like somebody's kitchen, and we have got, well, Tom has got a portion of fried chicken and then chips with sausage on, which they didn't even say was going to have sausage on. It's a lot here. And then for drink, we've actually got the Peruvian Inca Cola, which is kind of, in my opinion, similar tasting wise to Iron Brew. Yeah, Tom really likes it. I'm not sure why it's this colour, but we've both got one of these. So 2 drinks and 1 meal. To be fair, they think we're sharing this, but obviously I'm not going to eat this. So it is pretty good, pretty big.
Try this first.
I'm just apprehensive as to what that is.
It's just like a hot dog sausage.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with my funny coloured Inca Cola. Obviously I'm not a chicken connoisseur, but it looks okay, to be fair. Like, it's not pink or anything.
Yeah, it's cool.
How's the batter? The batter looks a bit greasy.
The batter isn't.
The batter's not great. It looks really, really like not it.
I won't eat the whole thing, but it's alright.
It is a big portion though, to be fair. I'm really sad that they've covered the chips in it. Overall out of 10? 5?
Yeah.
Tom has been defeated by the grilled chicken.
One thing I've noticed in Peru is that the fries are never quite done enough.
Yeah.
They're always just a little bit under. You know, like when your mum does oven chips. But like,
it's giving mum doing oven chips and not leaving them in long enough.
I mean, sorry mum, but it's true.
Yeah. So here is a breakdown, a handwritten receipt. We've got chicken, 20, drinks, 8. So obviously that's 4 per drink. 28. 28 sols, which for reference is £6 and 5 pence for 2 drinks and a massive meal. It's cheap. It's not as cheap as Colombia, but it is cheap. We're gonna go show you a comparison for a restaurant meal now because I have not eaten anything. We're struggling, to be honest, to find a lot of street food, a lot of cheap eats, so we're gonna see. So on this little barbecue, we've got a lot of seafood. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a whole octopus is on that table. And then all of these restaurants specialize in kind of Peruvian cuisine, but a lot of it is seafood. A lot of it is just like your generic seafood dishes because we are on the beach. So this is kind of the cooking situation in a lot of the places. We've got like kebabs, skewers, scallops. There's a whole octopus there again. And I'm gonna be really honest, we aren't the best test subjects for the food here because neither of us eat seafood and I don't even eat meat, so like we are struggling a little bit. So if you're watching this and you're a fellow vegetarian and you're wondering what could I get for a tenner, because the local dishes are heavy on meat, heavy on fish. I've struggled probably the most in Peru and I've eaten quite a few pizzas, so my reference point now is how much is a pizza, so I'm gonna go tell you. Okay, so this is technically not street food, although they are serving street drinks, I guess. But it's a pizzeria. We're gonna see if we can grab a cheap pizza in here. Oh wow, is this like a delivery? Oh, it's cool vibes. Very cool vibes. The kind of going rate for a pizza seems to be about 24, which is, as we just realized, less than £6, which I don't think is bad. Still slightly cheaper than what you'd pay in a restaurant at home. And they're also, guys, the portion sizes have been massive. Here is pretty like bespoke. They've got a lot of unique flavors. I'm gonna get the Greek style one, I think. They also have a lot of cocktails, which also are costing about £5, which for a cocktail, not bad. Okay, so this is my Mai Tai at £5.18. So it's quite expensive, but it's not a UK price. And is it nice, Thomas?
Really nice.
Really, really good. So that pretty much hits our £10 limit. 1 cocktail, 2 Inca Colas, and the biggest portion of fried chicken you've ever seen. I have ordered a pizza that costs me about £8. Okay, it's hell of a lot of rocket, but this cost me 40 sols, with 40 sols is £8.64. It's a Greek pizza, but they ran out of feta cheese, so it's just got roast tomatoes, pine nuts, rocket, caramelized onion, I think, maybe. Please, can I get, do you have this? Okay. See? Ice cream time, guys. We've got to test a little side of the street ice cream van. Gracias, thank you. How much? Cinco.
Gracias.
So this just costs £1.08, which is cheap. It's not like crazy cheap, but it is cheaper. Thought I would add this into the video because last night was maybe not the best research. We just bought this from that little stall, as you saw. There's ice cream vans dotted all over South America. I'm not sure what flavour this is. I thought that it was just vanilla, but it's kind of orange. Can you see that?
You don't like that, do you?
Something in Peru is when it looks like it's something normal, it's probably a really rogue flavour. I think it's maybe orange. It's okay, it costs £1, so. Okay, hello. From stop number 3 of this video, today we are in Buenos Aires, Argentina, the capital city of this wonderful country, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. This might be the best location we filmed this so far, and it is also the only capital city that we have tested this out in so far. And I will say, Argentina is so incredibly expensive compared to everywhere else that we have been, but also just compared to like life in general. It's not even like by comparison to South America, just generally this is a very expensive city. I would place it on par with London. It's not really any different, but I think it depends where you're eating. So we have headed to a little indoor market that has several options for food. And what I'm really enjoying about Buenos Aires that I didn't realise beforehand is that a lot of its influence when it comes to food is actually from Italy, because 50% of the immigration to Buenos Aires was Italian, which is great when it comes to cuisine for vegetarians, which is actually a misconception, I think, because I just presumed it would be just steak. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to eat in Argentina, but I have not really had an issue. So this is the view currently. There are a lot of different options. There's a lot of different stands. There's some classic Argentinian food, there's some imported food, there's a lot of Italian food.
We're going to go see what we can get for £10 from here.
For reference, £10 is on screen, but it is around about 13,500 Argentinian peso. What a conversion. I don't think we're going to be getting much. So we have a classic Argentinian empanada, I think is how you say it. I've not tried one of these yet, but I think this might be a good place to start. Oh, they've got tomato, basil and cheese. Which would you get? Or blue cheese and mozzarella.
Oh, that could be good.
Should we get that one? Yeah. So these are 3,200. I think they're all priced the same, which is pretty good. So that cost us £2.32. Here we go, my first Argentinian empanada, which I'm probably saying wrong. Do you want to have the first bite?
It smells good.
It smells amazing. Oh my goodness me. Is it really hot?
No.
Really?
Good? It's really nice, isn't it?
It's very cheesy. £2.32
Yeah.
is a good snack. That is about a fifth of our budget. So bearing in mind where were we to start with? Colombia, we got so much food, like the whole day's worth of food for pretty much both of us. Versus here, I think we're gonna be probably looking at one meal between two. I would say most meals have been costing probably more towards like £35 each. If you include a drink, which we have also been drinking quite a lot of wine because Argentina is famous for its wine, and Tom has been having steak for the same reason. So we've not been eating the cheapest here, but I do think like we aren't in Argentina to scrimp and save. Like the food scene here is very, very good. Another food that they absolutely love is dulce de leche, which is basically just the sweetest like caramel syrupy saucy thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but it is on everything here. It's so Argentinian. They would have it with everything, I'm pretty sure. So they are also so big on cakes. This is very classic. We've seen a lot of these where it's like two cakes and the dulce de leche in the middle. Can't remember the name of that.
I don't know if it's to go with like the eclair.
Do you want an eclair? I think that looks a little bit more classic. You could.
Slightly more expensive.
Slightly more expensive, yeah.
900 for this dessert, but it is quite big.
It is big. Yeah, it's hefty. We're gonna show it again. Okay, so we have sat outside the market, same market, and this is the budget that we have left. So £3.67, which is 4,873, nice easy conversion, which means that we have limited options when it comes to getting another like main food item because everything is around about 10,000 or upwards. It's very hard to find food for less than that, especially if you want a meal, you're looking at more like 20,000 and upwards. Tacos, guys, this is my life hack. Tacos are almost always the cheapest option because you can buy them individually, and we have just found that there is a stall on the outside of this market selling tacos for 3,800, or they actually do a quesadilla,
which would nicely round off your budget,
for 4,800. I think, to prove I'm not lying, quesadilla 4,800, vegetarian.
Also, our dessert, we didn't realise, was actually 2, which is pretty good.
That's because they were closing.
So it was 2 for that price, so we both got a little sweet treat after this.
We couldn't do this video in Argentina and not eat dulce de leche.
True.
So this concludes our £10 budget of the day. For reference, this looks big on screen, but like when I put my hand next to it, this actually is not that big. It's like one, well, I thought it was a quesadilla, but I'm pretty sure that's just a taco but flat. But anyway, it looks really nice. It's mushroom, it's got a hefty filling, it's got some spicy sauce, and this, guys, took us pretty much bang on up to £10, like almost to the penny. This was bang on.
I'm surprised how much we got for £10 here. I didn't expect us to get half of this stuff.
1 taco, 1 empanada, and 2 dulce de leche cakes.
Like, that's a meal.
That is a meal. It's not bad at all, actually. Yeah, it is. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's great, because by comparison to Colombia and Peru, it's so much more expensive, and the portions are smaller. But generally across Argentina, the portions have been massive, but you are paying for them. So I actually think a good tip is to order as normal, share it, because the portion sizes are like for 2. The moment of truth where trying to eat this is actually so difficult. So tasty. That's so much flavour. Not like Peru where everything was bland. Alrighty, are we ready for our dessert? Oh, it's looking a little sorry for itself, but these are the dulce de leche cake. So I'm glad they gave us a fork, because I was kind of thinking I don't know how we're going to eat that. I'm not going to lie, that looks really kind of sorry for itself.
Do you want me to have the sorry for itself?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's just cake and sauce in the middle, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I hate it when this happens. I can't.
Oh, it's all gone a bit wrong.
Pissing me off.
Oh no, not good?
It's solid. I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
Is it, how many days has it been there? Is that why they gave us one for free? But is it nice or not really?
The eclair would have been better.
The eclair would have been better. Everything about this country is messy.
Oh no.
Not again! No, really.
No, it's happened again. What a muck tub. I think the top's definitely going in the bin.
Right, so now that I've made a massive mess, and spilled this all down my top. We are ready to leave, but I wanted to add in, because obviously I don't eat meat, so I've not eaten any steak across Argentina, but Tom has. Do not film my top. I did my best to get it out, guys. He said he's been spending roughly about £30 each time he's had a steak, which I don't think is too bad for a steak, because also the quality of them here has been like unmatched compared to the UK, so I hear.
Proper here.
Yeah, like really, really just well cooked, well seasoned. They're obviously amazing at it, and I feel like Brazil will be the same. Well seasoned, like well sauced. No,
no, they don't come with sauce.
They don't come with a sauce.
No, I haven't had a single
We've just
steak.
been having plain steak.
They've just been plain. They don't do it with sauce here.
Okay,
Well,
so
unless you can add it, but for the
It's been
steak.
£30 for a steak without any added.
No, but the steak's been that good, you actually haven't needed a sauce, which is crazy. Because I always think at home, like, it needs a sauce.
In those restaurants when we've had steak, I've been having pasta. Like I said, there's a big Italian influence. Pasta has been around 25,000 Argentinian peso, which is about £20. Quite expensive for a dish of pasta, maybe a little bit less. As a general rule, on the whole, this country is incredibly expensive, and I'm impressed at us tonight.
Look at me. Yeah, they're cool. What did you buy?
Sunglasses, because I had to put mine in the bin because the insect repellent disintegrated them. Hello from Copacabana. We are now in Brazil. This is going to be our last country testing this out, and it's also going to be our last city where we have been.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, amigo.
What is it?
Queso. I like cheese.
Cheese?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Go for it. 2, yes please.
How much is it?
50.
Huh?
50?
5.
Oh, 5.
I want cheese.
Yep.
Cada uno.
3 and 2 for 5. 30.
Oh, 30.
Yeah.
Okay, just one then. And there's something else over there. What's he got?
He's selling
Corn?
corn.
It's corn.
Stop
No?
boring now, stop boring. This is cool.
I want SpongeBob SquarePants' burger. Oh, you can't really see it. Obrigado.
Thank you, bro.
Wow. Is it done?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. Right, so we have been sat here, as I was literally saying in the last clip, probably not even 15 minutes. And every possible thing I could have wanted to buy or eat has been brought to me by random men. And I have not even had to stand up from this chair. And somebody told us that Copacabana was like this, but honestly, they were not joking. Everything you could possibly want, street food wise, is available to you. I've just had cheese fried on a tiny little grill in front of me.
By the way.
Yeah, it's kind
Is
of
it hot?
like, it is hot, yeah. It's like halloumi. My main concern is, has that ever been cleaned? It's a little bit of a strange concept.
That's where they get the flavour from on these things.
Yeah. We've also got a coconut, and for some context, for a bit of background, 74 Brazilian reals is equivalent to 10 British pounds.
So a big chunk of the money's gone already because that cheese thing cost 30.
Yeah, it's not that cheap, and I do
No.
kind of think Brazil as a whole has not been that cheap, but we are also on the most touristy beach in the most touristy city during the week of Carnival.
It's strange though because the coconut we think was 10,
The coconut was 10.
which is, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
So like that, I think the cheese was maybe just expensive. Also, I think the pigeons, I think the cheese.
Well, cheese is expensive, and the cheese maybe was a bit over budget. It's not the cheapest item, but I do want to try it because I've never seen anything like that. Nobody has ever come up to me
we
on a
don't
beach.
know like what other veggie options there would have been. So
That's
pretty
true.
Good to
Yeah,
be
that's true actually. Oh, here's the next man. There's a man coming by with a steaming pot of something. Another guy, I don't know what he's got in those canisters.
Yeah, it's a beer.
Oh, is it drink?
It's beer.
Or is it ice cream? Anyway, we need to try the cheese before it gets cold. It's not halloumi. No, it is cheese. It's like the same cheese as what I was eating in Colombia, like that really plasticky, kind of
cheese that made us
flavourless.
feel really ill.
That cheese, yeah. This isn't greasy though.
Can I try that?
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah?
What else have we bought? We bought a sarong. And what's really funny here is that people kind of dress as the thing they're selling. So like Mr. Sarong here is dressed as a big sarong. Mr. Tote Bag, who's walking away from us, he's got tote bags on his trousers.
So there's a man and he's selling Egyptian food, right? Which is rogue in itself, but he's selling it dressed as an Egyptian. And I just think that's interesting. You can't catch your breath for more than 5 minutes without somebody selling you something.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated. I
Yeah.
think this is going to be quite an expensive day, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they all take card. You can't even be like, oh, sorry, I don't have any cash.
That's true. I think that's the first place we've ever been anywhere, like backpacker wise, where you'll buy a coconut, 10 reals, which is about £1, and you can pay on a card. So this man is selling shrimps, not the guy in front of me. Although I think he might be selling limes. He's got limes on his shorts. But I'm really sad because he's not dressed as a shrimp. He's selling them, but he's not dressed as one.
And then very abruptly, the Brazil footage ends because we didn't actually buy anything else on the beach. Our plan was to go back the next day and I wanted to film me getting an acai because acai is Brazilian. It is very, very popular to get acai bowls and all sorts of different breakfasts. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have this be day one. It came to about £6 whilst we were on the beach. And I thought tomorrow I will go and get an acai bowl for about £4 and finish the £10 challenge. That didn't happen because this evening, Tom and I got such severe food poisoning that we did not eat anything else again at all in Brazil. And that's a bit of a running theme. I think it's definitely worth noting that Tom and I have traveled a lot, especially in Southeast Asia. We have never got food poisoning. We have never been unwell. In South America, we were unwell from the food quite a lot. Like, it was not a one-off occurrence for us to have food poisoning, and that is rough, to be honest. I didn't expect it. I was really careful. I'm also veggie, so I don't eat meat. It wasn't meat. I don't know what it was. I think a lot of it was just the way the food was prepared or where the food was prepared. But in Brazil particularly, the entire group that we were with was so unwell on the day that we filmed this that meant I never finished it. So we never got to £10 in Brazil, but that was not because it was cheap. Brazil was pretty expensive. I would say not far behind Argentina. I also want to add, Argentina has not always been that expensive. We were speaking to a lot of the locals, a lot of the tour guides who have said that basically in the last 2 years, the prices in Argentina have just skyrocketed and inflation is pricing everybody out basically, which is really sad. I don't fully understand why that is. Economics isn't my strong point, but it was noticeable. I would say it's on par with being in the UK, which is not what I expected. But that does bring us to the end of this little challenge video. I just thought it would be kind of fun and interesting to do this as a comparison if you're planning your own South America backpacking trip, because we didn't know what to expect before we left and probably would have benefited from a video like this. If you have enjoyed it or found it useful, do give it a thumbs up. This was just super light-hearted, nothing super serious, and of course we could have definitely done it a little bit better, but we did keep finding hurdles along the way, guys. Like, when we set out to plan this video, we did not know we were gonna get ill every time we planned to film it. So you live and you learn. Other than that, guys, I am gonna go and I shall see you back on my channel with a vlog from Australia, which is where we actually headed from Brazil. I'm so excited for you to see that. I feel like it's just like old times. It's gonna be up on my channel on Tuesday, so do subscribe so that you don't miss it, and I shall see you all then. Goodbye.